Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Robotics Notes Elite. In the last episode, Kaito once again helped Frau, aka Connor, in seeing whether or not the top ranked players of Kill Ballad were in fact cheating. But despite being paired up and winning against the second ranked player, Hanasono 1991, tragically, none of Frau's supporters over in Tokyo could find any evidence of any sort of cheating on Hanasono's part, much to her infuriation. And that same evening, Akiho, Juno, and Subaru were hanging out at the Yoiraiki festival. And Akiho, of course, confronted both Michi and Nai about why they were there. But it is the next day, and we begin this morning with Akiho and Subaru having a creative argument of what else is new. Subaru's irritating me, and judging by its expression and posture, the feeling is mutual.
部員はこれまでずっとそれを着てきたの。男子も女子も関係ないんだってば。
そもそもこんなつなぎを着たら、僕がロボ部とまだ関わっているとバレバレですよ。
He's got a point there, Akiho. Yeah, he's trying to keep incognito and play a low profile. Otherwise his father will get incredibly upset with him again, and Subaru is trying to avoid that.
また父さんがここに現れたら言い逃れできない。そうなったらどう責任を取ってくれるんですか？
責任って。
Yeah, you're gonna have to think long and hard on that one, Akiho. Like yesterday, Subaru showed up again, so I figured I'd have him help with assembling Gun-Built One's left leg. Alfred would let him wear one of the jumpsuits the club has used for years. I didn't think he'd be so against it.
その服で作業したら汚れちゃうよ。
Something tells me he had no intention of helping you fix the leg.
ご心配なく、手伝うつもりはありませんから。
手伝ってよ。
手伝っているところを父さんに見られたらまずいって昨日から言ってるでしょ。まったく。
Says Subaru as he enters the hangar and begins to inspect the large servo motors. Looks like he hasn't lost his passion for giant robots, or robots in general, much to his father's chagrin if he ever stumbled back here again. On that subject, we should probably put those parts that we acquired from Sumio to good use.
そもそも昨日なら大徳先輩や八潮先輩だっていたでしょ。その時手伝ってもらえばよかったんです。
昨日だって散々手伝ってってお願いしたでしょ。でもカイもスバルもちっとも相手してくれなくて。
It's rare for four of us to be in one place, so before the fireworks, I figured we could assemble the left leg. Figured being the operative word. But it was a no-go. The servo motor ended up hanging from the engine crate for 2 days.
ほんと男子連合軍って付き合い悪いよね。
Plus, Kai is playing hooky today.
でもスバルが今日も顔を出してくれてよかった。昨日お面をプレゼントしてあげたおかげかな。
I think we're past the point of having to blackmail him with his Mr. Pleiades identity.
僕が手伝う前提で話さないでください。ちなみにあの大きさのモーターだと 2人がかりでも組み上げるのは難しいんじゃないですか。せめて3人は必要だと思いますよ。僕は手伝いませんが。
Yeah, we already figured that. There, Subaru.
ジュンももうすぐ来るはず。そしたら3人になるよ。
しつこいですね、部長。
スバルもね。
Yeah, we're back to the deadlock again. Oh boy. Sparks flies as our gazes collide. But then Subaru reverts his eyes and looks back at the motor, coward. Good thing you didn't say that out loud.
これだけの大きさだと相当の電力食いでしょう。
I reckon it would.
そっちにある発電機程度じゃろくに稼働しないんじゃないですか。
ドクもそんなようなこと言ってた。だから一応バッテリーも一緒に積んでるの。
The central part of gun build 1 contains the engine, power generator, and multiple batteries. The engine runs the power generator to make electricity, which moves the servo motors and legs.
バッテリーといっても数時間充電して稼働時間が 2,3 分増えるくらいじゃないですか。
Yeah, that's Evangelion levels of operating time, and we can't afford to have that.
ないよりはマシでしょ。
Then again, we can't really afford anything else, I guess.
何にせよ
Time.
5分しか動かないなんてナンセンスですよ。万博に出店してもほぼ止まったままということになります。
それはそうなんだけど、あれ以上バッテリーは積めないもん。重くなりすぎるし重心が狂っちゃう。
そこまで状況を把握していながらそれでも作るのはやめないと。
やめられないよ。完成は間近だもん。
Akiho is still determined to see this through to the end. Subaru is staring me down from behind his glasses.
何？
いえ。
Yet again, he averts his eyes first.
どうやら僕が何を言っても部長は聞く耳持たないみたいですね。ヤシオ先輩の言うことなら聞きますか。
どうせカイはガンツクワンには興味ないから。
ですが僕よりは可能性がある。
As we continue talking, I thought I recognized Parks in front of the hand. Robot Clinic is written on the side of the body in a bold, imposing font. I think we can guess who the driver is. This is a total secret, but every time I see it, I gotta hold back my laughter at how silly it looks. A good thing too.
Oh.
Hello, Fujita. As expected, Doc gets out from the driver's seat.
こんにちは、ドク。
3つ目のサーボ持ってきてやったぜ。
So he's the one bringing the parts from this point forward.
待ってました。
I stretch up and peek inside the truck bay. There's a single large object sitting there. It's a part of gun build 1, from the ankle down to be specific. I've already extended, welded and bolted parts onto docks made to order giant servo motor. I even added wheels to the front of the foot to account what Subaru pointed out. It's not quite the same as the right leg that was assembled years ago, but it's pretty close in form. And this is all thanks to Doc letting me use a bunch of the machines at his store. Surprised you could actually use them. Then again, he probably was supervising the whole process. Normally a local workshop would never let an outsider, never mind a teenager, use their stuff. Especially as far as your relationship with Doc is concerned there, Akiho. The Doc went and told me to do whatever I could on my own. Even let me borrow the tools I needed, especially now that we have the cash and the resources to help cover the costs for all of this. That's why I've been commuting to Doc's shop every day to build the ankle.
左足、思った以上にハイペースで完成しそうだな。
That's somewhat progress.
足なんて飾りですなんて言わせないんだから。
I think Subaru is going to say that anyway, just to spite you, Akiho.
うち頑張ったよね。ねえ、ドク。
サーボさえ用意できりゃすぐに組み上げられるようにしてあったからだろうが。そりゃお前の手柄じゃねえ。事前に加工パーツやら接続パーツを用意しといた OB どもの手柄だ。
もちろん分かってるって。
But I did have to assemble the thigh section all by myself. The thigh is the most important part of Gun Build 1, as it forcibly connects two servo motors with metal plates. Gun Build 1 relies on his strength in order to walk. If Gun Build 1 is not strong enough, the leg won't be able to endure the weight of his body and he'll collapse. Hence the reinforcing. The thigh section is currently hanging from an engine crane in the hangar. That's the motor that Subaru was inspecting earlier. Basically, the leg consists of three parts: the thigh, the ankle Doc just brought over, and the pre-completed shin. The shin is just the part that connects the thigh motor to the ankle one. It's about as thick as the thigh. But it doesn't contain any servo motors of its own, so the OGs completed it years ago and stored it in the hangar. It's the original club members. The OGs also made each bolt used to connect the thigh, shin and ankle, so everything's accounted for. Or maybe it's not referring to the original Robotics club members. Maybe it's referring to the people that Doc is working with, the OGs, whatever. Either one, I guess. In other words, while the left leg is still incomplete, aside from assembly, we're about 80% of the way there.
止まってた作業が一気に動き始めたな。
And it is. In a manner of speaking. I've been really excited this entire past week.
スバル、これで分かったでしょ？
何がですか？
うちはサボってたわけじゃないって話。結局ね、ずっと作業が滞ってたのはエンジンとかバッテリーとかサーボモーターとか、そういう自分たちじゃ作れない巨大パーツが買えなかったからで。
I don't think that's the issue that Subaru has with this, Akiho.
だから歴代の部員はみんな、もちろんうちもだけど、連結用のパーツとかボルトとか側とかをコツコツ作ってきたの。
Granted, after becoming a senior, most of my time was taken up trying to negotiate our budget with the vice principal, VP.
そういう小さな積み重ねがやっと今花開いたわけ。まさに血と汗と涙の結晶なんだよ。その辺分かってほしいな。
血生臭いですね。
血は言い過ぎた。とにかく歴代 OB の方々ありがとう。このたくさんの結晶をうちが形にしてみせますから。
I face the setting sun, although it's still broad daylight out, and swear my oath once again. Doc uses a crane to remove the ankle section from the truck bed.
ドクって実はすごくいい人だよね。大きなパーツとか買ったらいつもここまでタダで運んでくれるし。
Well, at least we didn't have to pay transport costs.
あ、それとももしかしてパーツ代には運送費も込みだった？
That is actually a very good question there, Akiho.
道理で相場よりちょっと高いと思った。
なんか言ったか？
なんでも。
I think she was actually trying to say that your work is premium there, Doc.
島内なら店からの運送費なんざ取らねえよ。
Oh, that's good to know. There are people out there that charge exorbitant transport fees for
金を払った
no
相手
reason.
にはアフターケアも含めてちゃんと対応する。それがプロってもんだ。それにお前らがパーツ運ぶとなるとどうせ光彦の野郎の軽トラを引っ張り出してくるんだろうが。
I think that Michi would probably drag himself, or rather Sumiya would do the dragging in that instance.
奴にうちの店の敷居をまたがすたくはねえんだよ。そんなことされるくらいなら俺が運んでやった方がよっぽどマシだ。
But once again, looks like Doc Fujita and me are on the same page, especially as far as Michi is concerned. Or where Michi is
そこまで
concerned.
嫌いなんだ。
I'm really glad I told Michi not to swing by the hangar today. After Doc lowered Gunbuild 1's ankle section, he and Subaru then helped me push it into the hangar. It has wheels, but that's just to prevent tripping. They're usually not touching the ground. We ended up having to move the thing out on a rolling cart.
ねえ、ドクも手伝ってくれないかな。ちょうど太もも部分を取り付けようとしてたところなんだ。
I think the transportation was the only reason that it was out here, Akiho.
確かにこき使いやがって小娘の分際で。
ドクの経験が頼りなんだよ。
ああ、ついでだ。手伝ってやるよ。だが気に入らねえな。ボボブはもう一人いたろう。付き添いはどこ行った？
Yeah, about Kaito.
カイはサボり。ジュンはもう来てもいいはずなんだけどな。
ジュン？誰だそりゃ。
So it slipped my mind that Juna doesn't really, yeah. She's still terrified of her grandfather.
何言ってんの？ドクの孫でしょ？大徳ジュンナちゃん。
おお、ジュンか。
But despite how scary Fujita might seem to Jun, looks like he still does care for her as his granddaughter. Dog suddenly goes quiet.
そうか。 ロボ部に入ったのか。
聞いてないの？
別にどうでもいいことだ。
Now Fujita is going tsundere on us.
作業を始めるぞ。ロボ部、指示はお前がやんな。そこのメガネ。
Actually, Subaru, you should probably count your blessings that Fujita is here, because now you can use him as an excuse to say that that when your father turns up, at least Fujita can provide you with an out of sorts. Subaru was quietly attempting to leave, but Doc angrily shouts at him from behind.
何帰ろうとしてやがる。お前も手伝うんだよ。
僕は
You've been given a get out of jail free card here, Subaru, in this instance. I suggest you take it.
いいから早く準備しな。出ないとぶん殴るぞ。
They might actually do that, as a matter of fact.
むちゃくちゃだ。
Subaru mutters to himself like he's about to cry. The thigh section weighs over 100 kilograms. We adjust the location of the engine crane it's hanging from and set it so that it can connect to the waist section. It takes over 10 minutes for the three of us to move it only a few meters. We very carefully set it into the connection part of the waist. This is a very delicate procedure. While supporting the thigh section hanging in midair, we make minute adjustments over and over again.
バカ野郎、もっと左だ、左。
さっき右って言ったじゃん。
行き過ぎなんですよ。ほらまたストップストップ。
ちゃんとしねえか。このままじゃ接合部がバカになるだろうが。
ドクの指示が悪いんだよ。
That sucks, but it's necessary. Why am I the one getting yelled at over and over again? The thigh section is heavy, so adjusting it even by a few centimeters is tough work. I'm soaked in sweat. My throat is parched and I don't have the leeway to drink a skull. After getting the connections lined up, I insert the Robotics Club's handmade bolts and secure them. Each connector uses over 10 large bolts. I carefully but quickly fashion around 30 bolts in total. Meanwhile, Doc and Subaru quietly support the thigh section in its position. If it's even slightly off, the bolts won't go through properly. Not to mention, if we screw this up, quote unquote, we run the risk of shearing said bolts, which would be even worse. This could lead to failure later, so it has to be done carefully and securely.
あれ、ボルト3個くらい足りないんだけど、どこ行ったか知らない？
That's not good.
バカ野郎、それくらいちゃんと管理しとけ。
僕らに聞かれたってわかるわけないでしょ。それより早くしてください。
おかしいな。何日か前に数えた時はちゃんとあったのに。
I crawl around on the floor searching for the lock.
二人ともそのままの状態で待機ね。
run over to the shelf at the back of the hangar. Where are those 3 missing bolts? I scrounge around in the box with small parts, but I don't see the bolts I'm after.
なんで3個だけなくなるんですか。ナンセンスだ。
You know what, Subaru, I agree with you there. It is nonsense that 3 bolts would be missing right at this crucial moment.
もともと少なかったとか言うんじゃねえぞ。
Akiho may make a few mistakes from time to time, but I don't think she would have made them when they really counted.
単なる数え間違いか。部長なら可能性はありそうですね。
そんなことないってば。もうかれこれ30回以上は数えたんだから。
Back when Gunbuild 1 construction was at a standstill, all I could do was stuff like count bolts and oil the motor cams.
だったらもう一度足元をちゃんと探してみな。結構変なところに転がってるもんだ。
Prompted by Doc, I crawl into the area below the hanging thigh section to see if the bolts found down there. Well, we can breathe a sigh of relief on that one. They weren't under the thigh section. Instead, they had rolled under the knee of the completed right leg. With that, mission accomplished. Crisis averted. I put a couple of thick wooden rods under the thigh section to support it.
なんとか終わった。
And with that, work on the thigh is finished. It's insanely hot in the garage, so the 3 of us are drenched in sweat. I check the time on my Pokemon.
うわ、作業を始めてから2時間近く経ってる。
容量が悪すぎるんです、部長は。
だな。大場で働いてる人間ならこんなもん30分でできる仕事だ。
Those guys are professionals. Isn't it kind of unfair to be comparing me to the pros?
本当に勘弁してくださいよ。こんなことして見つかったりしたら。
だったらすね部分はどこが指示してよ。
今からか
？30分でできるんでしょ？
Maybe with an entire crew here.
俺はロボ部の専属メカニックじゃねえんだぞ。
Probably around the time when Misaki came up to your store and said that she was going to start the club. And you agreed to help her. Yeah, that's when you became the exclusive mechanic for the Robotics Research Club. Doc grimaces like he just bit down on a sour lemon. His wrinkled face looks even more wrinkled than usual.
まあいい。どうせ今日は暇だったしな。付き合ってやるよ。
もちろんスバルもね。
僕は帰りますって。
Yeah, Subaru's get out of jail free card unfortunately does come with a slight caveat. Fujita won't be able to defend Subaru from his father while the two are at home.
大体、大徳先輩はどうしたんです？
あれ、そういえば。
Did she see that Doc was here and run off?
ドク、かわいそうなおじいちゃん。
Or maybe she just hasn't shown up yet. I want to cry.
何わけのわかんねえこと言ってやがる。さっさと始めるぞ。
And Fujita, I think fortunately for the time being is being oblivious.
でもその前にお昼ご飯食べたいんだけど、うち朝から何にも食べてないし。
年寄りは問答無用で手伝わしといて、何甘えたこと言ってんだ。これだから最近の若いやつは使えねえんだ。
すいませんが、僕は。
うるせえメガネ、帰るなんて許さねえぞ。
そんにゃ。
Looks like you just got shut down, Subaru. Wow, Doc is fuming. In the end, the three of us worked all the way until sunset without taking a single break. I refuse to believe that Doc is in his 70s. He might be more sprightly than we are, jeez. But thanks to him, we managed to complete the left leg in a single day. Huzzah. And, speaking of Kaito, here we are. Akiho has been working really vigorously these last few days. And she has. And we can finally have a look at Twippo again, see what's going on. Messages from Frau. Kapsubo is going to start a new series this week. More thin books will be coming out. Creepy laughter. Insert here. Sister Centipede. Chill out. Huh, so now she has her own Twippo account. I wonder if Irie and Sister Centipede have separate accounts. I wouldn't put it past them. I love soccer so much that I watched all the past series while asking myself, what are offsides? Are they tasty? Yeah. I doubt you know anything about football. Hard labor from Akiho. And she's not wrong. Played 6 hours. 70 wins, 3 losses. It's a good ratio. Apparently Juno's replying to Frau. My brothers like Kapsubo too. Forgot to tell them. Okay. From Robot Doctor. Gotten some new parts. Shinden Tech's Mobius coil. This one is rare. How about using it for a wireless power supply? Got 3 in stock. First come, first served. Shouldn't really say no to that. Anyway, we've also got our usual spiel with taboo news. Riots in North America, a new one in San Francisco. No signs of calming down as their number continues to grow. Who was the one that said that it would all come down? What will calm down will be the electronics malfunctions due to the solar storm. I don't know about the riots that happened because of it. And nobody knows apparently what the actual cause was. It is growing and you can't stop it anymore. The riots and the solar storm have nothing to do with each other, or so it seems. But it is a fact that the confusion from the solar storm caused the riots. That is probably it for fact. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is saying we should stop traveling to the west coast of America. doesn't seem that serious to me. Oh, maybe not. Maybe people have died and we don't know about it. Why is there a riot? A solar storm isn't enough reason for a riot to start. The solar storm was just an opportunity. That country already had something wrong going on. This might be worse than the LA riot. So much going on in the world. Anyway, back to Kaito, who is waiting here at Fujita's handy-dandy robots clinic. She spent all of yesterday putting together the robot. We came to the robot clinic first thing in the morning today, and now she's now building the robot's head. She's heating and pounding metal plates to bend them into the head shape, though she's not very good at it. Yeah, I doubt the final version is going to look anything like Gunbarrel's actual intended head. At least it's starting to look kind of like a head now. It's pretty big, so she and Doc are both silently immersed in their work. Kaito sets the counter. There's nothing in particular for me to do. By the way, I still haven't told Akiho about the call from Mizune. Probably shouldn't for the time being. She called me, Deets aside, yet she's been ignoring her sad little sis. Akiho would be devastated if she knew, and she would. I shouldn't tell Akiho about the Kumijima reports anyway, so this might be for the best. Just then I hear a car horn from outside the store. When I check outside, for some reason I find Subaru standing there. He's looking around, checking to make sure that nobody else is near.
わざわざ手伝いに?
そんなうかつな真似はできませんよ。父さんに知られたらまずいですから。
Still keeping that low profile. He didn't look straight at me.
先輩に話があってきました。
ロボワンのこと？
違います。少し抜けられますか？ここで話していると目立ちすぎるんで。
It must be tough having to move around in secret from his old man. Subaru got in trouble for acting in secret to begin with, yet here he is continuing to do so. We distance ourselves from the robot clinic and walk to the outlet park nearby. It's actually just an open area for watching rocket launches. Well, it used to be. In the distance you can see the TNSC rocket launch site. People don't really come here these days, which makes it the perfect place to talk while avoiding the eyes of others, as long as they're not here. Subaru and I slowly walk side by side across the spacious lawn. The sun is shining bright, so just this little walk is making me sweaty.
で、なんか話があるの?
JAXA からの支援のことです。
それはアキちゃんが断ってもう終わったはずでしょ。
JAXA の担当の人、天王寺さんでしたか。まだ諦めてないみたいですが。
So Nai is just as determined in her own right, it seems.
あの後も何度か来てるよ。
Akiho said she introduced herself to Michi on the day of the festival.
僕は天王寺さんの提案に全面的に賛成です。
Yeah. It's It sounds like a very good offer from Subaru's point of view, with actual working materials and on top of the materials that Fujita has provided. One could make an effectively efficient robot, but the caveat of that would be scrapping all the work that Akiho and Misaki made on the original version. Nightonoji's proposal: cease production on Model 1 and begin building a Model 2 from scratch.
ただ、立場上あまり大っぴらにはそれは言えませんから、それで先輩に話してるんです。
何それ、立場上って？
僕はロボ部では幽霊部員でなければならない。父さんにもう一度バレたら感動ものですから。
He probably would at that. Ah, that's why.
スバル君ってさ、実は父親のこと好きでしょ？
家族を嫌いな人のことは軽蔑しますね。僕は別に漁師になることが嫌なわけじゃないし、父さんの言い分もよくわかります。漁師以上にやりたい夢がありましたが、それも諦める決心がついたんです。
Made up his mind, huh? Sure doesn't look like he has. No, it doesn't.
だからこの夢、いえ、あえて趣味と言いますが、この趣味をこっそり父さんに隠れて続けるのも高校を卒業するまでです。今まではさすがに大っぴらにやりすぎましたが、これからは少し自粛してバレないように楽しむつもりです。できるだけ静かに活動していきたいんですよ。これ以上親を悲しませる気はありませんからね。というわけで JAXA 支援の件について僕は前面に立つ気はありません。
For your sake or Akiho's?
黒幕でいたいって俺みたいな考えするんだね。
一緒にしないでください。
あの JAXA の美人なお姉さんに英雄と呼ばれた気分はどうだった？
いや、茶化さないでくれますか。正体を明かす気はありませんから。
His face goes bright red. He's clearly shaken. That's why I just can't stop teasing him.
なるほどね。君としては今のロボを作り続けるのは反対だと。それで俺からアキちゃんを説得しろと、こう言いたいんだ。
そういうことです。
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. But knowing Kaito, I think I can see where this is going to lead.
試作1号機は問題がありすぎる。それに何よりかっこ悪いです。
俺ロボのことなんてこれっぽっちも興味ないからな。そういうこと語られてもあっそうって終わっちゃうんだけど。
About what I expected from Kaito at this stage. As for things looking cool or lame, that's up to personal taste.
現実的な話をしましょう。東京万博にエントリーは終えていると部長は言ってましたが、当然審査があるのは知っていますよね。
そういえばその辺のことは全く聞いてないな。
I mean, I literally didn't care, and up until recently I didn't even think we'd make it in time.
一般参加は今回の万博だけの特別ルールですが、規定では2ヶ月前と直前に審査が入ります。試作1号機の完成度ではその審査で落とされる可能性が。
落ちたらもう出られない。
ええ。この審査で一番重要なのは安全性です。試作1号機を動かした場合、転倒の危険性がかなり高い。つま先とかかとに車輪を装着することでそれもだいぶ軽減されるはずではありますが、それでもまだ危険です。いっそクローラでも装着した方がよっぽど機動性は上がりますよ。
クローラ？
無限軌道のことです。ガンバムにも出てくるでしょう。足が戦車みたいになっているやつ。
Not sure how Akiho would appreciate that there, Subaru. Caterpillar track. Continuous tracks that are most often attached to a tank. Vehicles with these tracks move forward by the rotation of the caterpillar track's wheels, also referred to as crawlers, track belts, or tank treads.
Ah, キャタピラのことね。
いいえ、クローラです。
なんか違うの？
キャタピラはキャタピラ社の商標ですから。クローラと呼ばないと無知な人間だと思われて恥をかきますよ。
豆知識を披露して自慢したいだけか。ミッチーみたいだね。
失礼な。何も知らない先輩に一般常識を教えてあげただけですよ。
そんな呼び方のことはさ、どうでもいいんだよ。それより何の話だったっけ？
安全性という点で万博出展の審査には通らない。二足歩行ロボットにおいて転倒するというのは一番恥ずかしいことです。
Yeah, basically safety is important.
それを解決できないような開発者に大きな顔をして万博に出る資格はありません。
That's a little harsh.
転倒の可能性だけじゃなく、もう一つ試作1号機には重大な欠点があります。コックピットがボディに内蔵されていること。今世界中の企業で作られている巨大ロボットは遠隔操縦が主流です。オペレーターをロボに乗せることに合理性は全くありません。
Try telling that to the people behind the big guy there, Subaru. There is a very obscure reference for me. Well, not so obscure if you know about it, I guess. Is it just me, or is Subaru getting more and more heated?
アキちゃんはロマンって言ってたけど。
Yeah, since mobile, they're not called mobile suits for a reason. They might otherwise, without a pilot, it might as well be a mobile doll.
そんなくだらないものを守るために審査に落ちていたら本末転倒ですね。そもそもそのコックピットに乗るのは今のところヤシオ先輩が最有力候補なんですよ。転倒して死んでもいいんですか？
Oh, hey now. I just felt my butt pucker up when he said that. Not that Kaito ever planned to be the pilot
少な
to
くとも
begin with.
安全面における改良だけはもっと突き詰めるべきです。 でないと怪我人が出ます。
ま、俺は乗るつもりはないけど。
部長はヤシオ先輩を推していますが。
お断りだね。そりゃアキちゃんと勝負して俺が負けたなら潔く乗ってもいいけど。それよりもスバルくんさ、大切なこと忘れてるよ。スポンサーの意向ってやつ。
つまり大徳先輩を事故を起こす可能性の高い欠陥品のロボに乗せるわけですね。
そういうことになるね。
大徳先輩は素人です。
勘違いしちゃいけないな。俺だって素人だよ。ロボ1でオペレーターをやったのはキルバラシステムを導入してたからであって、ロボに乗るのが俺でなきゃいけない必然性なんてどこにもない。
だから自分は逃げて女子に危険な役目を担わせると。クズですね、先輩。
Alright, you know what to talk, I'll give you that. He deserves points for that one. I feel like laughing out
本
loud.
音を言うとさ、俺、アキちゃん以外がどうなろうとあんまり興味ないんだよね。
Okay, I took that one too far. I just mean I can't make light of Akiho's feelings, that's all. Of course I don't want Juno to die. But if nothing else, I don't plan on taking Subaru and Jax's side on this. And I don't want to talk about the Robotics Club's direction and secret behind Akiho's back. I do get that Subaru and Jax are probably in the right on this.
それじゃあ何も解決せずに放置するつもりですか？事故を起こす可能性が高いのに。
アキちゃんに直接言ってよってことさ。
部長は感情的になりすぎていて、僕の話にも天王寺さんの話にも聞く耳を持ちません。
だったら俺の話だって聞こうとしないよ。アキちゃんってのはそういう子なんだ。
Well then I guess that settles it. We've gone absolutely nowhere on that front.
本当にロボ部の活動に興味がないんですね。
Whatever gave you that impression there, Subaru? Subaru's gaze is scornful and merciless.
それほど詳しく見てきたわけじゃありませんが、ヤシオ先輩と部長の関係性がいまいち理解できません。先輩は部長にすごく甘い時もあれば、やたらと厳しくて冷たく感じることもある。どっちなんです？何がしたいんですか？ヤシオ先輩はなんでロボ部にいるんです？
突っ込んでくるな。
Indeed.
俺は最近スバルくんがすごく熱い人間だってことに気づいてきたよ。
僕のことは今はいいんですよ。それともはぐらかすほどの何かが裏にあるんですか？
He's starting to dig a little too deep
知
there,
りたいなら
Kaito.
勝負する？
いいですよ。100戦でも200戦でもお相手します。
I hope you learned your lesson from last time there, Kaito. Oh right, this technique doesn't work on Subaru. I smile bitterly and gaze out at the TNSE VAB in the distance.
俺はさ、アキちゃんの保護者みたいなもんだよ。頼まれてるんだ。
アキのことよろしくね。
Saki's parting words from way back when.
た
Before
だ
she
そ
left
の
for
約束
Tokyo.
を守ってるだけでね。直接手を貸すことはできるだけしない。 応援はするけど。
先輩って偉そうですね。イラッときます。
やっぱり君、熱い男だね。
Subaru lightly clicks his tongue, turns around and starts to head back to the park exit. It's like this conversation's finally come to an end. I stay where I am.
その調子でアキちゃんにぶつかっていってよ。案外うまく噛み合いそうな気がするから。
I speak to his back, but Subaru doesn't respond. Of course not. Well, that was a thing that happened. I guess. And, surprise, surprise, looks like, Juno's finally showing up at the hangar. It's like a slide straight out of Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels, a four-part novel written by an Irish author in the 18th century. The story tells of the tale of Gulliver, a physician who visits various countries around the world. It's most well known for the first part of the story, where Gulliver visits a country of minuscule people. Made into several movies, one of which is very iconic and famous. I can't remember who the main actor for Gulliver was in that one, but should be aware of should be obvious of which version I'm talking about. Also, I think I might have actually read the book way back when, but the details escape me. But on that note, I believe it is time to end this episode of Let's Play Robotics No Delete, and when we return, we shall find out the reason why Juno Daitoko being here is a sight straight out of Gulliver's Travels. As always, until next we meet.